the actions need to be thoughtful, consistent, and sustainable. Thoughtful meaning you're not flailing around haphazardly. You're monitoring what needs to be monitored. You have a plan. Particularly in entrepreneurship, you have to have some kind of fucking plan, or else you just don't know what the hell's going on. And if you don't have a plan, you're fucked. So that's number one. It's got to be sustainable, consistent, where you're doing it on a regular basis, and it's got to be sustainable where you can. Because again, I see guys that they'll work like in 4 days. They'll work like, I don't know, some ridiculous amount of hours in 4 days versus a guy who only works 4 hours a day over 6 months, but he does that every single day. He's going to get more work done. He's not going to burn out. So I think that anyone who's kind of wanting to do that, like that, those 3 words I have it up in my office: thoughtful, consistent, sustainable.
No shit.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because when I started teaching business in 2019, we would give him all the systems, all the how-tos, and some, especially the younger folks, would have problems executing, right? And they would ask, because in my head, when I created the program, I'm like, this is what you need to do, go do, because in my head, I came from like, grind, all day,
and it's like too much for them.
Exactly. And then people would ask things like,
it's overwhelming.
And I'm like, so did you do your numbers? Did you do the, did you do the DMs? And they're like, no. And I'm like, why not? Well, I tried to do it, and then next thing I know, I'm on Instagram and I'm scrolling down because I got a notification, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're not putting your phone in flight mode while you work?
Yeah.
And then he's like, what? Why? And I'm like, okay, who here isn't doing that? And then everybody, and I'm like, oh, you guys don't even know how to do the work ethic thing.
Yeah.
So I literally created like an extra module with like the most basic for me, the most basic shit of like, get your sleep right, make sure you schedule, just like you said, like, so schedule out what you need to do, write it down, put your fucking phone on flight mode, just don't look at just turn it on do not disturb for 45 minutes and until the task is done.
Mine's always on do not disturb.
Yeah, always.
Even like this, like look at this, like I even change it so it's like not a colorful thing. It's like a monochrome, like boring, like it's not compelling to look at the phone.
Exactly. So because for me, I'm like, of course you do that. What the fuck? Like I completely got shocked by like people that were like 6 years younger than me that didn't even have that yet.
Yeah.
And then I released that work ethic module, and people are like, it's so mind blowing. I'm like, it's mind blowing to eat clean, get sleep, have a schedule. Like, it was just the most basic things, but that's the reality of nowadays. That's people nowadays, and that's I said this years ago already, and also props to Tyler because he said it years ago. He's like, the biggest commodity the biggest advantage that you're gonna have in the next years is the time that you can pay attention.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's getting less and less. People are going to be distracted more and more. And if you're someone who cannot be distracted, or at least not be distracted as easily, if you're working a 9-to-5 job, you're going to outcompete all your colleagues. If you're working in a business, you're going to outcompete all your competitors.
It's like a work-induced ADD.
Yeah.
Right. I read something in like Harvard Business Review or something like that. It's like there's a new ADD, but it's like AD something D, but it's like literally from notifications. Like you start your day, and then all of a sudden now there's a WhatsApp, now there's a Slack thing, now there's somebody calling you, now there's this, and it's like boom, it just keeps it's coming from all, and you get distracted. And so you got to be able to turn that stuff off.
I have on do not disturb, and the cool thing is, like, if you use technology right, because everybody's like, technology is so distracting. I'm like, motherfucker, you just don't know how to use it. If you use technology right, it can actually help you stay focused. So what I have is I have the do not disturb mode on, but you can put in exceptions.
Yeah, I have the exceptions.
I have 2 exceptions that can always go through. That's number 1. That's Nico. That's our head of sales. In case he's like, blah, I have this guy for whatever, $28K. Can you help the call real quick or something like that? And my girlfriend. Yeah. Like, in case, like, she knows, she's instructed to, like, if there's some shit hitting the fan, call me. Yeah. Doesn't matter when. And, of course, what she does is she sends me cat memes. And I'm like, God damn it. I told you, She's like, oh, sorry, I forgot. God bless. But, in essence, like, that's it. And now, because the other thing is when people put it on flight mode, they're like, but what if, or on do not disturb, what if there's something important? Well, denote the people that could give you important news and make that an exception so it comes through. It's that simple, and then you got it.